budget in pretty good detail, and I'll have city manager make a few comments, and then we'll have a question and answer. So this is my first budget as mayor. I did, of course, 8 as a councilman. My commitment to fiscal responsibility was demonstrated during my 8 years on the council and has been applied in this year's budget. Legislation I wrote, including the Reserve Management Act, the City Debt Policy, Economic Expansion Act, established a strong fiscal foundation to ensure Fresno's long-term fiscal position is stable. This is not only a budget for the existing fiscal year, it's also a long-term budget that charts a path to fiscal prosperity. And so today, I'm pleased to propose a budget of $1.1 billion for 2018, which includes $321 million for the city's general fund. This budget is sensible, balanced, provides a roadmap to make Fresno a better, safe, more prosperous place to live, work, and play. It represents the best possible use of our limited resources to address the most pressing issues. It also focuses on 4 key initiatives: economic development, public safety, quality of life improvements, and prudent fiscal management. The first key initiative, economic development, is the engine that drives the success of the other 3 key initiatives. And my vision for Fresno is to transform our economy by creating citywide prosperity that will improve the quality of life for everyone in Fresno. For decades, we've dealt with the burden of generational poverty, high unemployment, high crime rates, and we can change it now. Achieving these goals will require a commitment of city resources and a collaboration with other government agencies and the private sector to be successful, including assessing the infrastructure needs and cost and developing a long-term plan to fund the infrastructure of our industrial area. Focusing on specific industry groups, including e-commerce and data centers in strategic locations, including the industrial area near Highway 41 and Highway 99 Triangle, and developing a comprehensive marketing and branding of the industrial development effort. We need to continue building our momentum. Remember, success breeds success. A successful building of e-commerce centers in South Fresno Industrial Triangle will create thousands of new jobs. Will also significantly elevate our economic base. Over a 10-year period of time, there will be major increases in our city property tax, sales tax, and business tax revenues. Substantial increases in our economic base will provide the funding needed to hire more police officers and firefighters, fight blight and homelessness, build our roads and other infrastructure, and improve and build new parks and trails. We have already seen our first glimpse of a brighter, more prosperous future. In March, we announced that Ulta would build their first West Coast e-commerce distribution center here in Fresno with the potential of 1,000 jobs. Soon, we hope to get the good news from Amazon. That's another potential 2,500 jobs. When you consider the possibility of getting the high-speed, heavy maintenance facility built here with 1,500 new jobs, then we're halfway to getting to 10,000 new jobs in the next 10 years. So how does this affect our budget? If you look to my left, you'll see a chart. In the chart, you're going to see the estimated city revenues and expenses for the next 10 years. Assuming modest growth, we see steady gains and a minimal surplus over that time. But that does not get us where we need to go. If we do nothing at all, make no changes in our strategy, it isn't enough to fulfill the commitment to our city and our residents. Not acceptable. We need to create 10,000 new jobs in the next 10 years. And 10,000 new jobs using the multiplier effect actually means 20,000 new jobs due to the increased need in retail, service, and support jobs. This means that our unemployment rate will get cut in half from 10% to an unprecedented 5%. this out of here. Those 20,000 new jobs also mean an estimated $1,050 of increased revenue per job. That's potentially $21 million more per year by the year 2027 in our general fund. That's part of a strategy. You'll hear the other half of it. So my formula for success is simple. More jobs equal more revenue. More revenue equals better services. Better services equal a better quality of life. This is the roadmap to build a better Fresno with a better quality of life for all of our citizens. The FY 2018 budget also asked for funding needed to complete implementation of the new land management software system that supports business-friendly Fresno 2. You'll hear in a couple of weeks. And speaking of quality of life, I'm pleased to announce the FY 2018 budget offers these improvements. Continue the implementation of the Rental Housing Improvement Act by establishing a proactive rental housing inspection program that will focus on dramatically improving the quality of rental housing in Fresno. Expansion of weekend health and fitness program at Fresno Unified and Central Unified campuses to include instructional and recreational swimming. $5 million in funding for neighborhood parks renovation projects. Over $26 million in funding for street maintenance projects. There will also be additional monies for pothole repair, alley cleaning, tree trimming, and meeting island maintenance, and enhancements to online billing for our utilities. I'm proposing significant investments in public safety, hiring 21 additional sworn police personnel. This increase in sworn staffing to 825 will be the highest staffing level in nearly 10 years. We're going to expand the spot charter coverage from 6 square miles to 9 square miles. This technology can triangulate gunfire incidents and pinpoint the location of a gunshot within a few feet. We know it works, and it probably saved lives on April 18th. Funding a new police substation in Southeast Fresno with no bond debt by cash. Funding 50 new patrol vehicles and 14 motorcycles in addition to other equipment. Making the Office of Independent Review a full-time local position in Fresno. Our fire department will also see upgrades. This is the third year of an 8-year program to completely replace all fire engines and other apparatuses, and the second year of a complete replacement of fire personnel protective equipment. All of this is our ongoing strategy of prudent fiscal management that brought our city from the brink of bankruptcy and has poised us for greater success. Key elements of my fiscal policy include the FY 2018 budget reflects over $1 million in savings from the refinancing of the city's bond debt and a total of $42 million in savings that will be realized citywide over the life of the bond debt. Continued contributions to the city's general fund reserve, which is on track to reach a level of 10% or $32 million by FY 2020. This will be the highest it's ever been. Identify innovative funding streams, including approximately $100,000 from existing digital sign revenues at key locations of city properties adjacent to highways. Our goal is to get to $1 million in additional new funding streams. In addition, we're planning to actively market surplus city properties and place all escrow proceeds into a general fund reserve account. It is estimated that the total net proceeds from the sale of these properties would be between $6 million and $13 million. We also want to align one-time savings revenues into a funding stream tied to the year when the general fund debt significantly reduces. In 2024, general fund debt will drop $3.5 million. And by 2030, it'll drop nearly $15 million. So it's a combination of increasing the economic base, 20 million plus, watching our general fund debt drop potentially over $15 million. That's a gap of 30, 40, $50 million. That's the game changer for Fresno. I want to acknowledge the people that helped prepare this budget. All of my hardworking directors behind me all had a hand and a lot of work to put this budget together, and especially our budget staff, led by James Sumner. Everybody give Jane a big hand. And we're talking about 5 or 6 iterations. This was not an easy budget to put together. I also want to thank my staff, led by Tim Mormon, for their efforts to put the budget together. And of course, I've got to thank our city manager, Bruce Rudd, our assistant city manager, Wilma Kwan Schechter, and our city controller, Mike Lima, who I guess is not here today. Mike? Okay.